All right, today we're going to dive into a super powerful AI tool. It's designed to figure out what people are really saying, in their own words. Let's jump right in.
This is the million-dollar question for pretty much every business out there. You're collecting all this feedback, you're reading reviews, sifting through support tickets. But what's the actual story? What's the real feeling hidden inside all that text?
The thing is, most companies are sitting on an absolute goldmine of this kind of unstructured text. It is just packed with crucial insights, but trying to analyze it all, well, that's always been a huge headache. And that, right there, is where modern AI comes in to save the day.
So let's get specific. Where are all these valuable opinions actually living? And why is it so incredibly critical to understand them?
I mean, the applications here are just vast. You could be monitoring your brand's reputation on social media in real time, or maybe optimizing your customer support, or even doing these super deep dives into product analysis. In every single one of these cases, understanding the sentiment underneath it all is the key. That's what turns data into real actionable insights.
Okay, so how do you tap into this gold mine without, hiring a whole army of analysts to read everything? Well, it turns out Snowflake has an answer for that built right in.
Say hello to AI_sentiment. So this is a function that's built directly into Snowflake Cortex, and it's powered by a custom large language model. Yep, the same kind of incredibly powerful AI that's behind tools like ChatGPT. The best part? This isn't some third-party thing you have to bolt on. It's a native tool that works on your data right where it already lives. But here's where it gets really cool. We're moving way beyond just a simple thumbs up or thumbs down. I mean, the real world is nuanced, right? And a truly powerful analysis tool needs to understand that nuance.
This is the real game changer. See, overall sentiment might tell you a review is mixed. And that's okay, I guess, but it's not very helpful, is it? Aspect-based sentiment tells you why it's mixed. It tells you the food was amazing, but the service was painfully slow. It gives you specific things to focus on. That's everything.
And getting this kind of detail is ridiculously simple. Seriously, you just give it the text, you tell the function what aspects or topics you care about, things like price or quality or service, and that's it. It does the rest and gives you this perfect, detailed breakdown.
Let's look at a fun, real-world example. Here's a surprisingly poetic review for a pizza place. At first glance, it sounds pretty good, right? But you can feel that catch in the last line. An overall score might just shrug and call this mixed. So instead of just asking, is it good or bad, we're going to get specific. We'll ask the AI sentiment function to look at this review through the lens of three distinct aspects: cost, quality, and wait time.
And boom, this is where the magic happens. Look at that. The overall sentiment is, mixed, just like we thought. But the breakdown, we now know for a fact that the customer absolutely loved the quality and the speed, but they really felt it was too expensive. Now that is an insight you can take to a meeting and actually make decisions on.
Okay, this is powerful stuff. But if you're like me and you work with this kind of tech, the next question is always the same. How good is it really? How does it stack up against the other big names out there? Let's just look at the raw numbers. According to Snowflake's own benchmarks, when it comes to that super important aspect-based analysis, Cortex AI Sentiment is actually leading the pack. It's outperforming major models like GPT-4, Claude, and Mistral. Yeah, that number right there. 92% accuracy on aspect-based sentiment. That's the headline. It just goes to show that this custom model is really, really tuned for this specific and super high-value task of dissecting what customers are thinking.
But wait, there's more. Because great performance in English is one thing, but what about the rest of the world? Your customers probably don't all speak English, so your tools shouldn't have to either.
So this function works natively across 7 major languages. And here's the crucial part. You don't have to translate the text first. This is a huge deal. Why? Because when you translate text, you so often lose the little nuances, the slang, the real feeling behind the words you're trying to capture. So you can just feed it a review in Spanish, like this one here, which is complaining about the quality of some very, very expensive shoes. Or you can give it a review in German, which actually praises the quality of the shoes, but complains about some major delivery delays. The function just handles both of them seamlessly, no extra steps needed.
Now, like with any powerful tool, it helps to know the rules of the road, so you can get the absolute best performance out of it.
So let's quickly cover the practical guidelines for using AI sentiment.
Think of these as the guardrails, or maybe the sweet spot for the model. It's really optimized for chunks of text up to about 1,600 words. You can analyze up to 10 different aspects at once, and you'll want to keep the names for those aspects pretty short and sweet. Following these just ensures the model stays fast, focused, and super accurate. So, to wrap it all up, what's the big takeaway here? AIS Sentiment is a remarkably powerful, incredibly accurate, and dead simple to use tool that lives right inside Snowflake. It's built to take that messy, chaotic world of customer feedback and turn it into clear, structured, and genuinely actionable insight. And that really brings us to the final and most important question. With this kind of power right at your fingertips, what hidden stories are just waiting to be uncovered in your data? Thanks for checking out this explainer.